Beyond, though, the Kilmar case, the pushback against President Trump's immigration crackdown is continuing, with a U.S. federal judge in California banning the Border Patrol from arresting illegal aliens without a warrant. This seems nuts to me, but here's a bit more from Fox News.
Yesterday, California District Judge Jennifer Thurston demanded CBP agents cannot arrest suspected illegal migrants without a warrant or reason to believe the person is a flight risk before they can get one.
Jennie, walk me through this here. If they are illegally in the country, why does the Border Patrol need to go to a judge to get a warrant?
Sure, and being someone who's illegally in the country without ties to the community is already technically considered a flight risk by these federal agents. A lot of times they do have civil arrest warrants, but they're operating in a state like California where their hands are tied. I mean, I have sources who deal with these issues all the time, who are in these sanctuary states, who are stymied by the judges that are in their jurisdictions. This is something that continues to actually hinder the Trump administration's mass deportation agenda. And it actually allows a lot of these illegal immigrants to find hiding places across the country. So in California, for example, the ICE agents there have a much harder time making arrests, just in general, across the board, not just in this case. But they have this policy where they cannot do what's called knock and talks. This is something they do in other areas of the country. They'll be able to go after a target knowing that their last known address is a certain home or apartment complex. They'll knock on the door. They'll be able to talk to whoever's there and try to determine without incident or without, a risk of an incident, by just talking to the individuals there and trying to get someone nabbed without going out into the community, essentially going out onto the street and having to pull people over. This is not allowed in California. This is something that the ACLU pushed forward. It's something that is, again, it's hamstringing their abilities to make arrests. And this is something that continues to be a problem on top of this issue of Border Patrol not being able to make arrests in this county where this judge is. They're continually seeing that sanctuary jurisdictions are pushing back against the Trump administration more and more. And the Trump administration, of course, is also pushing back and trying to threaten these jurisdictions with prosecution, with withholding funding. And so it's a battle right now between the two.
And I think the border czar, Tom Homan, earlier today said something very much suggesting that there's going to be a major move in terms of dealing with some of these sanctuary jurisdictions. Have you heard that? And have you heard of anything that might be coming down towards these jurisdictions?
Well, we know the Trump administration has already started to push forward lawsuits against sanctuary jurisdictions. I mean, they sued the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois. So that's the governor there, the mayor there, Cook County, which is notorious for releasing illegal immigrants into the community there. So they've already set their sights on some areas of the country, and they've already pushed back on some jurisdictions that have pushed back on their efforts. And so it's kind of been a tit for tat, but we'll see what these efforts produce. And yes, it's my understanding that they will continue to do this.
Well, we'll see. But also, finally, I just want to ask you about this insane case here of Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan, who has been suspended by the Wisconsin Supreme Court after she was accused of helping a man evade immigration authorities. Now, I've spoken about this case before, but this just seems like it gets worse and worse.
Right. I mean, a judge is supposed to be an impartial person in the court, to be able to hear both sides of a case, to be able to allow for individuals seeking justice to feel as though they are getting a fair shake. In this case, you have a judge who is allowing and actually helping allegedly cover up an illegal immigrant from ICE. They showed up at the courthouse. They were waiting for this individual who actually has a rap sheet to come out of the court and to make an arrest, trying to do so, where they knew he was. And this judge tried to escort him allegedly out of a back door where she knew that they weren't waiting. She had been in communication with her staffers who had tipped her off about this allegedly.
Unbelievable.
And so we're learning. Yeah, it's unbelievable, hearing the testimony here and reading the affidavits of this story and what allegedly went down here. I mean, this is someone who tried to allegedly shield an illegal immigrant at the end of the day from federal immigration authorities. And this is not just someone who's here illegally. This is someone who has a record here, who is in the court for a reason, of course.
And that reason was alleged domestic violence. Jennie Taer, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much. But check out her stuff in the New York Post. She's fantastic.